Okay, this is the last lesson in this unit. So our goal today is to use your regression model. And remember, regression model is just regression equation to make predictions. And that's really the reason that they even make you make the model, is that we can make predictions based on it. So we're applying trends in our data. So after we've determined the best regression model out of the three that we've been working with, based on that scatter plot, we can then use that equation to predict other values that we don't have data for. So our example is, and actually I can get rid of this. So the example says, find the best regression model for the following data. The table gives the average weekly earnings rounded to the nearest dollar for Canadians over a 5-year period. So this is data. Okay, remember it's rounded to the nearest dollar. So in 2002, we have an amount all the way to 2006. So obviously we don't have the most recent one, which is what we are in this year. So what I did is I took my data, and this is the scatter plot. So this, I actually entered it into the calculator, and this is what it gave me. Okay, it gave me this data. Now, obviously, I'm not going to see these numbers on the graphing calculator, but if I plotted it, this is what I would end up with. Now, when I'm looking at this, remember I have to choose the best regression based on what the scatter plot shows me. So obviously, when I'm looking at it, the plot is increasing, it is going up. There appears to be a curve on it, so I'm going to say it's not linear. So now I'm choosing between quadratic or exponential. Now think about what this question is talking about. It's talking about how people are earning money. Now, if it was a parabola and it's increasing, that would mean that over here it would go this way. Maybe, but I doubt it. Okay, so I think with what I know about the situation, about how people's earnings are, I'm going to choose exponential. Okay, so I'm decided that I'm going to use exponential regression. And when I do that, this is what the calculator again gives me. Okay, it gives me this regression. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to create my equation. Now, obviously, I'm not going to use all these decimals that are here because that would be just crazy. Okay, could I do it? Yes. Do I want to hang on to some of them? Yes. Okay, so I decided that I chose to use 4 decimal places for this example. Okay, maybe I could have done rounded it a little bit more. So this is actually the equation that I have. Okay, remember the little caret sign stands for the exponent part. Okay, so now the next part of the question then asks me, use the model you found in part A to predict the value in 2020. So I want to know, how much would I be making in 2020 if I was the average Canadian? Okay, so what I have to do then is I have to determine what am I going to put in for my X value. Okay, so that is my issue. So 2020, so that's, I'm looking at my X value. Am I going to put the number 2020 in here? Well, no, I'm not going to. This model starts in the year, if I go back to here, 2002. So I want to find out how many years have occurred from 2002 to 2020. And obviously, if I do that, I would subtract and I would see 18 years have passed. So to answer this question, how much would I predict to have in 2020? I take my original equation and I've calculated my X value, which is 18, and I'm going to put 18 in as my power. Then I'm going to just pull up my graphing calculator or any scientific calculator, and I end up with $1,409. Okay, now you might think that that's too low in 18 years, but who's to say? You'll be around to figure out that. Okay, so I'm not quite finished because this is a word question. So if the trend continues, the earnings will be $1,044.09 in 2020. Notice I did put a disclaimer in there, if the trend continues. Who knows? The world, there might be some catastrophe happen and everything drops, or there might be, um, they might find gold in every backyard of Canadians, and then it would be a larger number. So we're basing it on if the trend continues. Okay, so that's what you're going to be working on today. You're going to use your regression model that you find to make other predictions based either on past or future events. Okay, have some fun.